Reality is a construct of perception. Carl is a construct of coffee and bad life choices. Here they meet in Carl versus reality.
So I finally got rid of my cold, which is a bit of a beggar. It's still sticking around a little bit, but it's better than it was. I can now breathe properly, which is something. And mental health is slowly getting better too. Quite pleased with that. I've been literally throwing everything I can possibly at it. Started taking a herbal supplement, a 5 HTP. Don't take it unless recommended by your doctor or you're willing to take your own life into your hands. But yeah, don't obviously do anything unless you research it properly. I'm not on any medication apart from that, so I should be good. And another thing that I'm trying to do for my mental health is I am trying to go on walks, like nature walks and all that kind of stuff. And that's where I am currently. I'm just walked about 1.5 miles, and I'm sitting in a tree, enjoying myself, and all that. I love a good walk. I love a good ramble. Ramble, obviously having two meanings there: rambling, talking shite, and also ramble as in walking in shite. But it's actually one of my favourite places to come. Actually, I like to come here. I like to go for a nice little walk into the middle of nowhere. Oh, my thing is I like to try and find a space that is the most quiet that I can find, and this is the most isolated and quiet place I can find for me personally. And it's funny though, because there's obviously paths and all that, so it is physically possible for people to stumble across where I am, but the further I go away, the less people I see, which is something. And it's funny because I've been doing this walk now for decades, and it's always nice to sort of come back to somewhere familiar. And yeah, it's just nice. What's weird as I found though is that I've become less grumpy as I've gotten older. Like, I don't know if people who listen to this go for walks or whatever, but I used to really hate when I used to cross paths with someone. Like, I used to always hate the fact that you have to be like a little nod or a hello and all that. I used to really resent that. Like, I want this bit of peace and quiet, a bit of tranquility, and it's mine. And selfishly, I'm all like, I just got annoyed about people. And I realised that I was carrying this anger for no apparent reason. So I ended up just doing my best to try not to care so much about that. So that's something as I've gotten older. I actually quite like saying hello to people, you know. I like, all right there, hello, all that kind of stuff. I like, that kind of thing. Try and maybe start like a little bit of a conversation, because you're both moving in opposite directions. It's not really going to be a stop and chat, which is actually quite nice. Whenever you bump into someone that you know, there's somewhat of a, hi there, how are you doing, all that. No, with people who go out for walks, everyone wants the same thing. It's actually quite nice. It's quite there's something quite lovely about people just sharing nature and the environment and just going out and walking and all that kind of thing. It is really lovely. I do like that. It's something that I do enjoy doing. But yeah, thought I'd take it along with me actually, because I've got the equipment now. I've got a portable audio recorder. So this year of Carl vs Reality is going to be all about going places and just going out and just podcasting life, as it were. I like the idea of maybe taking you other places and all that kind of thing. It'd be quite fun. Like I say, we're 1.5 miles away from civilisation right now. I don't know if you can hear it or not. There's some sea in the background. I don't know if I've filled it out because software does that. But it might be quite fun to bring you back here every so often, so we can sort of compare what it was like. It's currently January, and the tree that I'm sitting in, I don't know what kind of tree it actually is. I'll probably look it up at some point. But there's lots of trees all together, and there's quite spindly limbs, and there's no leaves. There's a nest right above me, an old nest. I assume an old nest. And it's actually a lovely little area. Sun's coming through the branches as well. There's a bit of a nip in the air. I say nip, it's freezing. Yeah, absolutely freezing. I've got a jumper and a coat, or a shacket. Not a big fan of coats. I like a shacket. Shackets are much nicer. I'm a big fan of the old flannel. So I've got it's a thick flannel with like Sherpa inside. I love it. I've been told a lot a lumberjack, which is fine. I don't mind looking like a lumberjack. The beard does that too, I guess. And the woolly hat, I guess, does kind of ruin that. I should be wearing one of those hats with the flaps over the ears, but I ain't doing that. I used to have one of those hats with the flaps over the ears. I used to have sort of like a little strap underneath your chin, and I used to get my beard caught in it, which is something I'm not overly happy about, so I won't be doing that. So I just got a nice woolly hat. I've just got multiple woolly hats, actually, all with different breweries on them. I've got Adnams, got Green Jacks. That's 2, actually, that's it. Suffolk ones, you know, which is fine. Obviously being from Norfolk, I've got to find a Norfolk branded one at some point. I hope to get a Green King one. I love Green King's my favourite, but we won't go into that. It's neither here nor there. But yeah, so it's nice sort of going out for a walk and just thinking about shits, really, because it's nice to sort of have that moment where you don't have to sort of think about much, and you know, just sort of let the thoughts come and go as they please. And that's actually one of the things I do like about a walk, the random stuff that you think. You know, I saw there's a gentleman with a metal detector. I saw him sort of detecting around and all that kind of thing, and you know, in my head I sort of romanticised it a little bit. I thought, well, maybe he's looking for his dead wife's ring that she dropped on the dunes years ago, and he's looking for it, and he comes out you know, every day to see if he can find it, to try and rekindle, you know, or find the lost memories of his dead wife. But probably not doing that. He's probably just looking for unexploded bombs, because this area full of unexploded bombs. They still find them, like so many years later, still find unexploded bombs. But yeah, there's a lot in this area actually, so a bit of a worry. There was that story about they were building the bridge in Great Yarmouth, and they found an unexploded bomb under the river. It'd been there for like 60 plus years, unexploded, and they had to get the bomb disposal people in, and then obviously they did all these bits and pieces, and it exploded randomly. They weren't ready for it. It exploded before they were ready, and my God, it went off. It's just mad to think that it's still active, you know. It's a terrifying thought, really. But, you know, other things sort of just crossed my mind as well. You know, I don't know if people do remember this or not, but I used to occasionally watch horse racing on Channel 4 when I was a child. It's a bit of fun, and it used to, like, Live and Kicking used to finish. Used to like flick over to another channel. There'd be John McQuirrick with his sideburns doing his tic tac. I thought that's a dino. So basically, what tic tac is basically communicating with people like from afar, like sign language, but specifically for horse racing, like giving odds, like touch your head for something, touch your nose, touch your chin, a hat, like waving your hands around. It does all these different bits and pieces. Tic tac is an old thing. I actually went into a bit of a rabbit hole down it, trying to find out about it more. And yeah, it's dying up because there's no point. There's no point doing it because they can just text it over, and it's exactly the same thing. It's actually probably more secure and more and just general better than hand movements. But it's a dying art. But also, you're talking about dying arts. For some reason, randomly in my head, it popped up the time me and my brother met some Pearly Kings and Queens. You know, like I for people who aren't familiar with such a thing, a Pearly King or a Queen is basically someone who's dressed in like a suit, and they've got these like pearl buttons sewn on and all that kind of stuff. They're literally just covered head to toe, and you know, it's a famous bit of sort of London tradition. You know, they do it to raise money and all that kind of stuff for charity and all that kind of thing. And my brother just asked them innocently, so like they said, oh, we stay up all night sort of sewing the buttons onto the suits, and he said, why don't you just glue them on? Which is true, get a hot glue gun, same effect. Well, it's not traditional. Yeah, but still, you know, it just made me laugh. It's funny, just sort of just walking and suddenly just thinking, kind of thing, you know. But yeah, the random thoughts that happen when you go for a walk, and I do like that. And I like the idea of taking you all with me for that, because that's just nonsense that comes into my head. But yeah, what a bunch of crap. But yeah, anyway, thank you for joining me, and you know, don't forget to subscribe and like and all that kind of thing. And there's a TikTok and Instagram and all that kind of, I don't like doing that kind of stuff. There's links in the description for all that kind of stuff. Well, there should be, if I could be asked. But yeah. Anyway, thank you for joining me. Until the next time, ta-ta.